Hey, what's up everyone? So it's been a week here on the polar bear farming. We haven't got any other babies besides those two that I had right before Thanksgiving. So we've gotten two babies in a week. We haven't had any other mating. We haven't got any other males as well. So we're going to take a look at the total cost of what this is costing, if it's profitable, if it's worthwhile, and how much we've sold those two bears for, because we actually sold those two bears. The polar bear market took a big hit thanks to the cash shop introducing the bear mounts. So it took a huge hit in value. The polar bears dropped from being worth around 300 to 350 on this server, the Taiyang Endless server cluster, down to I sold the two polar bears for 200 gold a piece. So a big hit, about almost 50% there. And what we have been doing too is we've been trying to get males in the center here. So it costs us 25 labor to actually kill the polar bear or release the polar bear, whatever you want to say. You do get these pouches though. So you may be thinking this has got a huge waste of money. It is, but it isn't. Because you do, like I said, you get pelts. So for killing a polar bear, we end up acquiring 37 pelts, 34 pelts, and then a gratuit pack or a pouch. And inside those pouches, you actually get these meats, and it's a random meat. So we get beef, mutton, goat meat, Yata meat, pork. So one of the random meats: turkey meat, chicken meat, etc. So out of those, you can actually make most of your money back from selling the meats either to the NPC or to the auction house and selling it to other players. So yes, it does cost 4 gold to buy a polar bear, but when you kill it and release it, you almost get most of that back. You're probably going to get like 2 or 3 gold back. The pelts, you can sell them for around 4 or 5 silver each. You get around 30-ish guaranteed on those. So right there you're looking at around 1 gold and 50 silver for just the pelts. And everything else now that you get in the meats, you're getting most of your money back. Go ahead and open up some of these pouches here. So you can see we got 49 goose meat, and just the NPC vendor value is worth 2 gold and 90 copper. So right there for that polar bear that we killed, we ended up getting 3 gold and about 50 silver per releasing it. So really it didn't cost us hardly anything to actually try and get a male. And you'll notice that none of the polar bears have actually died because we're not shearing them. And then if they are getting sick, we are going to go and use the combined feed and the livestock supplement. So that's going to bring up a little bit of cost there. Those guys are actually fairly cheap. The livestock supplement you buy with your vocation badges, or you can buy off the auction house. I believe those things are roughly around 20 silver on this server. Or again, you can use vocation badges to go and grab them. And then the combined feed is around 7 or 8 silver each. So again, those are fairly cheap as well. So the upkeep here, we have one right here. Spend 3 labor and 1 livestock supplement to treat the sick bear. So we're going to prevent him from dying by giving him a supplement. So saving our investment there. It's costing us around 20 or so silver to make him healthy. Again, same thing right there, 20 silver to make that one healthy. We do want to get males, and that's why we're killing them, releasing them, and trying to get males here in the center, which would then give us a better chance to actually proc for babies, because they'll be able to hit a larger radius by having the male in the center. And this is probably going to be more profitable to do with Yatas. You can do the same thing with Yatas. You leave all the females out there. You don't need to shear them. You just got to make sure that they stay healthy. If they are hungry, feed them, because after they go hungry for like a day or two, then they're going to go into sick mode because they're like starving. And it's more expensive to feed them the livestock supplement than it is the combined feed. So again, none of the polar bears have died. We've been doing this for a week now. We're going to go and show you the mailbox. Excuse me. And look at it. So we have 16 polar bears on each farm. Each polar bear is 4 gold each. So we have a total of 16, 32, 64, 80 polar bears here. So at 4 gold each, that's 320 gold initially to lay down all the polar bears. And then we're going to roughly just say replanting a polar bear is around 2 gold each. So 320, if I recall correctly, was what I stated, is the initial cost for planting all the polar bears on the 5 farms. And then every time we replant a polar bear, it costs us 2 gold to replant a polar bear. We've done that probably around 30 or so times total. So about 60 there. So we spent total roughly around 400 gold in polar bear farming for 1 week. We've spent a little bit of labor as well. It's not very labor intense because the only time you have to spend labor is when you get a male. You have to spend 3 labor to feed him, 3 labor to shear him, and then rinse repeats. So it takes like 6 labor there. And then if you get him sick, that's another 3 labor. But it's a very, very cheap labor intensity. And when you do get a pregnant female, that's where it gets expensive. It costs 200 labor to deliver the baby. But other than that, you're really not spending much labor at all doing this. The most expensive labor we've been using is to release the polar bears for 25 labor each. So again, a small labor cost will end up bumping that up to like, we'll say 50 gold in labor costs cumulatively. And really now we don't have to pay anything else going forward. It's all pure profit now. So the initial startup is expensive, but going forward, it doesn't matter if we sell our polar bears only for 50 gold each or 100 gold each. Pretty much everything that we do from now on is all pure profit just based on how much labor that we're using. And if you're going to spend, say, 300 labor to generate 50 or 60 gold, that's a pretty damn good profit right there. I'm going to take a look here. So this is the polar bear. So we ended up sold and we got a 186 after the fees. So we are negative around 100 gold right now for polar bear farming. You can see these are some of the pelts that I've been selling from the released polar bears. So in 1 week we have actually lost 100 gold, approximately 100 gold based on all the variables. But again, as we move forward now, everything that we do is going to be, cash flow positive. We're going to make money. It's only going to cost us roughly around, maybe 200 labor or so if we don't kill any of our polar bears by releasing them and trying to get males. If we release them, it costs us 25 per release, so that cost adds up a little bit. But even so, it will only cost us probably in general, about 400 labor upkeep per week to actually do all that. And then anytime that we get a baby, that's going to be 200 labor per baby. So, going forward, 400 labor points upkeep, which is pretty low, and you don't have to actually do much to be a polar bear or a Yata farmer. You come on, check like once every day or so. You don't have to feed everyone. You don't have to shear everyone. You only have to take care of the ones that are sick or hungry, or the males that are need to be reset so they can have a chance to go and trigger and become a stud. Again, it is a very cheap and effective way to actually make money. You are going to lose money in the beginning of the system, but going forward, whatever is more expensive Yatas or polar bears on your server, this is a great way to use your land. Again, it's only going to cost you probably around 400 or so labor per week to maintain everything. A little bit of money with the combined feeds and everything and the livestock supplements, but that's really just pennies on the dollars, especially if you can sell the bears for 200 plus or more. Some servers said they had higher prices, and of course the cash shop marketplace is going to affect those servers more dramatically and probably bring their prices for the bear cubs down like 200, 300, 400 gold each. But yeah, you can still make a ton of money doing this, and this is the greatest thing, is it's passive income. It's not something you have to actually go and grind coin purses for. or you have to actively really do anything. You're kind of just logging in once each day, checking on your farm, and then logging off. Log on, log off, log on, and then we get a baby, go sell it. It's passive income, which is the greatest thing. So you can spend your time doing other things and generate, this money on the side. Again, you are going to lose money in the initial weeks, possibly 1 or 2 weeks, depending on how lucky or unlucky you get with the RNG-ness. You need to get a couple babies. So pretty much once we get our third baby, we're going to be making, money going forward off every baby. Afterwards, we're going to be making just pure profit. And again, it's only going to cost us about 200 labor points to deliver the baby, and then again the minor upkeep around probably around 400 labor to upkeep, and that's 5 large farms. So if you only have one large farm, you're probably looking at around 80 or 90 labor points to upkeep that one large farm for the entire week. Because again, you don't spend that many labor points shearing or feeding the weekend polar bears. It may be a little bit more, but it's going to be roughly right around there. So again, a great way to make money passively in Archeage.